his wife is a minister for education, leave alone the fact that she's not educated and all that. The parliament is firmly in the pocket of the general. So there's not so much that you can do. What our country needs is a revolution. Here we are we pass laws, but our problem is not bad laws. Our problem is the impunity. So when I went to parliament and realized that, I started agitating from the parliament. As soon as I went to parliament, there was a bill that, since there was a cap on the age limit, of 75 years, the General Museveni was not going to be able to pass until they changed the constitution. Now, I went into parliament as an activist, and I made 3 years. I made a resolve that the ultimate solution is put an end to the rulership. And maybe if I'm to give the policies, that will take quite a lot of time for this show. I'll only say that our mentality now is a mentality of a slave who wants to break free from the chains, but then their fellow slave or a slave from another country is asking them, now, if you want to run away from the slavery, what are your policies? What are your alternatives when you leave master's house? Our first intention is to break free so we can be able to decide for ourselves. Numerous proposals, numerous alternatives, but they can't see the light of the day because the currency is corruption, the currency is impunity. The main objective of the government is to stay in power, and everything else is a detail. That is the situation in Uganda, and I believe in.
And please go ahead. Let's hear your question to Bobby.
So our leader, Bobi Wine of Uganda, as employment is a major impact on stability and independency, are you willing to go to create job opportunity?
I'm sorry, ask it again. If I'm elected president of Uganda?
It said, as employment is a major impact on stability, and to what extent are you willing to go to create job opportunities for the people of Uganda?
Thank you very much. I'm willing to go to every extent, but our focus is on two things, maybe many others, but in the line of employment. Why? We want to keep our people, especially the young people, healthy so they can be a productive human resource. And then we want to educate and re-educate them. Majority of our young people are not only unemployed, but they are unemployable. We want to make them study and understand their surroundings so they can be productive in their own surroundings. In our education system, our proposed education system, we're looking at 4 A's, and that's the academics, the arts, the Great Lakes region. That agriculture is our biggest employer. Unfortunately, now it has been muzzled up and owned by a few people. The regime keeps, monopolizing the coffee, which was taken over recently, cotton, vanilla, tobacco, and many others. So when we mechanize that agriculture, but most importantly, throw back the agricultural economy, many young people. Going back to our education, we want to educate people that are employable. job creators. We want to skill them right from the lower level so that we don't have this kind of colonial education that we create something. We want to emulate the kind of education that is had in China, India, and many other countries. Create more employment opportunities. But also, we want the natural resources of the nation, foreigners, like it is in the case of Uganda.
Thank you so much. That's amazing. Thank you.
Delano
Yes.
Tamatsa, let's say from there we go to Samuel Jacob,
Sure.
followed
Yeah.
by Delano, Brian, then Samira.
Let me just say thanks to the honorable man, Bobby Wine. I'm more concerned about the next coming election. I think I believe 2026 will be the general election. Museveni has announced that he'll be contesting, having been there since I think 1986 up to current. To the leader, Bobby Wine, are you contesting? If yes, what are your preparations?
Back in 2021, and remind you that I contested, and it is clearly known that we defeated General Museveni by a substantial margin. Unfortunately, I was put under house arrest. Many of my campaign team were arrested, and military on the street for weeks declared himself winner. In many ways, that's what we expect and more. As we speak now, the abductions are on the rise. As we speak now, violence is on the rise. I'm always followed on to maintain the legitimacy, because we chose not to just leave it to General Museveni. It is known that dictators, especially here in Africa, tend to even create their own convenient opposition, and to make it comfortable for General Museveni. And many of them have actually criticized us for not accepting to talk to General Museveni. Although we always make it clear that, like Mandela taught us, only free men negotiate. You cannot have somebody by the pseudo opposition groupings. Why? Because General Museveni, like many other dictators, have always thrown around money to fight the people that want their fall. Now, we know that our people, especially young people, are even more charged. They want to resolutely reject General Museveni on the ballot paper and then push him to a corner where he has no way. Dictators will have to hand over power peacefully and honorably, even when we defeat him by 80 or 90%. However, we want to earn the victory, and therefore we shall demand and fight for the victory, having earned it. You cannot fight for what you've not earned. We want the people to go to the polls so that the people have reason to stand firm and reject.
Okay, so Samuel Jacobs.
Oh, Bobby Wine. Just from what you said about imprisonment, I just want to draw my questions from that analysis, because Uganda is one country that I actually paid attention to from the voting in 1962. Now, when we speak of democracy, you had just two past leaders. From 1962, Obote to Amin in 1979. That's a whole country. So 62 years of this, that contradiction to democracy. But here's my fear for you. But when I listen to you, like I listen to Robert Mugabe. When I listen to you, that listen to Thomas Sankara. If I listen to you like a Patrick Lumumba, I listen to you, I see Kwame Nkrumah in you. When I use to differentiate yourself from the great revolutionary. My second international college to support that will be, what is your own view with the struggle we're going through when it comes to the RCC, like taking African leaders to the Hague, RCC?